I remember a high-profile case involving a suspected food poisoning at a party. The tension in the lab was thick because the family was influential. A local investigator walked in, looking confident, and handed us a common flimsy Ziploc sandwich bag. Inside was a half-eaten piece of meat. No tamper-evident seal, no unique ID number, just a bag you can buy at any market in Benin City. I looked at my supervisor and the room went silent. In that moment, the science didn't matter. We could use the most expensive gas chromatography machine in the world to find the exact toxin, but the case was already dead. Do you know how?
Where's that right?
Because any lawyer in court would ask, how do we know someone didn't open that bag and spray poison on the meat after it left the scene? We had to reject the sample. It is heartbreaking, yeah, but we had to reject the sample. It was disappointing to see the look on the investigator's face, but as a forensic professional, your loyalty is to the protocol, not the person. In forensics, if you're ever involved in a legal or medical case, ensure everything is documented. A small mistake in how a sample is handled can set a guilty person free or send an innocent one to jail. Integrity is the only filter that matters.
Where's that right?
Greetings everyone, have you ever wondered why a doctor might say someone died of an overdose, even if they only took a normal amount of medicine? It is because once someone passes away, the drugs in your body start a secret journey. Yeah, when you are alive, your heart is like a water pump, keeping blood moving through your pipes, the veins. This keeps the drugs where they belong. But once the heart stops, the pump shuts down. Inside our cells, there are high concentrations of drugs, especially in the liver, lungs, and heart muscles. Without the blood moving to hold them back, these drugs begin to leak out. They move from the organs into the stagnant blood nearby. So this movement is what we call the post-mortem redistribution in autopsy. If a forensic expert takes blood from the heart 12 hours after death, the drug levels might look 10 times higher than they actually were before the person passed away. Are you getting me? This can lead to a fatal positive. It can lead to a fatal positive for murder or suicide. All right? That is why it is advisable, or it is a must during forensics, during autopsy, that drug must be collected from the femoral vein. The femoral vein is located in the leg because of these leaky organs that carry out post-mortem redistribution after the person has passed away. My advice? Never trust a toxicology report that only uses heart blood. The truth is the periphery. Do you know that after death, certain bacteria in your gut can actually create alcohol? Yeah. Certain bacteria in your gut can actually create alcohol. A person who never drank a drop of beer in life can test drunk. The lab results, the autopsy report could come out that the person was drunk 2 days after the person joined the tunnel because of fermentation. This is how it can be. This is how serious it can be because of post-mortem redistribution. Thank you. I remember a rainy Tuesday afternoon during my time at the Center for Forensic Programs and DNA Studies in UNIBEN. The lab was cold, smelling of chemicals and that distinct metallic scent of forensics. We were analyzing a case that looked like a straightforward poisoning. You get, a young man had been found dead. The initial local report said his heart blood was toxic, loaded with a specific medication. From face value, it looks like a clear-cut suicide. But as we sat there in the lab looking at the data, something didn't sit right. Are you getting me? Something didn't sit right.
Yes, something didn't sit right. I remember looking at the samples we had processed and realizing the heart blood vessels were nearly triple what we found in the leg. That is the femoral blood. If we had followed the first report, an innocent family might have live forever with the shame of a suicide that never happened. So in reality, the man had a heart condition. After he died naturally, the medicine he took properly leaked out of his liver and into his heart like an overdose. That day taught me that in forensics, speed is the enemy of truth. If you rush to judgment without understanding how the body moves toxins after death, you don't just get the science wrong. You ruin lives. You ruin lives. Let me tell you all about the day I almost saw a ghost in the Center for Forensic Programs and DNA Studies, CEFPAT, UNIBEN. Yeah, forensic in Nigeria isn't just about what you know, it's about how you adapt. We were in the middle of a sensitive DNA extraction, a process that requires enzymes and reagents to stay at a precise cool temperature. Suddenly, the hum of the AC stopped, the lights flickered and died. The national grid collapsed. The forensic clock immediately started ticking in a room that hits 35 degrees centigrade within minutes. Those expensive chemicals started to degrade. If they get too warm, they lose their potency. And the DNA results will come out blurry or blank. We didn't have 10 minutes. We didn't have 10 minutes to keep things in order. We didn't have 10 minutes to keep things in order. We had seconds. And the room was very dark. The feeling was so cringy, and that feeling, damn, like, I don't know if you've been in a mortuary before, or like, that feeling. What did we do? In that situation, what did we do? We had to manually move temperature sensitive samples into backup ice chest and stabilize the thermal cycles using a small inverter system that was only meant for emergencies. We were sweating, working by the light of our phone torches, ensuring that the blue ice packs were positioned perfectly around the valves. That is the reality of Lagos to being scientists. We don't just fight crime. We don't just fight crime, we fight the environment. If we had let those samples get warm, the result would have been inconclusive. A word that brings no peace to a victim's family. That is why I always tell my students, master to do it the manual way. That is why I always tell my students, master to do it the manual way. Technology is great, yes, but your brain and your ability to stay calm when the power goes out are your greatest forensic tools. Success in Nigeria is 50% knowledge and 50% grit. 50-50. You have to be knowledgeable and you have to have that grit. Your adaptogens have to be firing. Don't forget it.